apple a day won't keep Freddy away.
Hey, welcome back. Today we're looking at the Freddy's Nightmares episode, Dreams That Kill, directed by Tom DeSimone, who is known for such classics as Chatterbox, a movie about a woman with a talking vagina.
I have a that can talk.
She has a beautiful voice.
The episode was written by Tom Blomquist, the writer of the previous episode, Dream Come True. Because yes, people, this is a sequel episode. Though it's not much of a sequel episode considering everyone from the first part is dead. I mean, the dream therapist got shot.
Freeze!
The cameraman fell. And now the host of the wildly popular talk show Springwood Confidential was found smothered to death with his own pillow. The only survivor appears to be young teen Randy Jennings, but he shouldn't have anything to worry about. He was cured from his nightmares and will definitely not die.
Teenager Randy Jennings will be my guest as I explore Dreams That Kill on the next Springwood Confidential.
See, I told you he lived, and now he gets to share his experience with new show host Charlie Nichols.
Well, since good old Stan was kind enough to die during Sweeps Weeks, I figured the least I could do was take advantage of it.
And what a guy this Charlie Nichols is. Now it's time for the post-show shave, but hold up, Freddy. I don't remember hiring you for the job. Freddy wants Charlie to forget all about his little Dreams That Kill show because it'll somehow keep everyone awake and he won't be able to kill anymore. I fail to see Freddy's logic, but he is the dream expert, not me.
I'm pulling the plug on Dreams That Kill.
What? Why? Charlie, come on.
Because it's a dumb idea.
Seems like Freddy got his little wish and Charlie's no longer gonna do the dream show. But what's to stop Freddy from killing him now?
How do you respond to Enid here when she claims that your music is corrupting the minds of American children?
Well, I respond by saying, shut up.
Oh snap, take that, you old hag. Tipper Gore here seems to take offense to Monkey Puke, and no, I didn't make that up, that is his name, suggesting that all she needs is to get laid.
Oh, look, we got that bang.
How hard was she swinging that purse around, and just what the hell was inside it? Charlie will be fine though, it's just a little brain bleeding, nothing a little bandage can't fix. He's got bigger issues though, because the producers are pulling him off his own show after he lost complete control of it. I guess the producers don't like ratings because no one cares about two people talking, they want bloodshed.
Okay, so where's this exciting new host they found overnight?
Big mouth talk show host. Do they deserve to live?
I honestly don't think they could have found anyone better. I mean, Freddy does have talk show experience.
Can I ask you something?
Certainly.
Who gives a fuck what you think?
For Freddy's first guest, he's having on Charlie for a little grill fest. And I mean literally grill. A few of Charlie's past guests join in on the festivities, including the two we already met, a Nazi, and a man in a dress. I'm gonna assume Jerry Springer was watching this and taking notes. Flame-broiled Charlie. It's a good thing they attached real food on the back of this prop, though.
Look, would you mind getting rid of that?
It's my lunch. I'm starved.
I don't care. Get some damn yogurt or something. I don't want to look at that.
Ew, chicken legs? Don't you know Charlie's more of a breast man?
A really disgusting guy with a mangled face, and he took over as host of the show. I don't know. He called himself Frankie or Freddy or something.
Charlie tells his producer/girlfriend all about Freddy and mentions that the dream therapist who died was also ranting about Freddy before he was shot. So he's pretty much convinced Freddy is real and is trying to kill him. He does receive some good news from the doctor that his injury is superficial and he'll be just fine if not for maybe some slight headaches. She does give him something to help him sleep though, but doesn't she know that's where Freddy lives? Instead, Charlie decides that he's gonna stay up all night, and I think his girlfriend is gonna help him out with that. See, I told you Charlie was more of a breast man. Alright, those 30 seconds are over with. Now what are they gonna do for the rest of the night?
Are you alright, Mr. Nichols? I thought I heard a scream.
No, there was no screaming here. I didn't hear a scream.
I'm sorry, nurse, but I always scream when my are. The nurse then blabs on about a new patient who came in after having seizures in his sleep. A young teen was apparently having a seizure in his sleep and then stabbed himself in the throat with throwing darts. Throwing darts, you say?
Jennings. Randy Jennings. Do you know him?
Alright, well, so much for that dream therapy and Charlie's next show, I guess. Charlie returns to work, and thanks to Randy's death, he no longer has to do the Dreams That Kill episode.
Last night, Randy Jennings died.
Oops, I guess they forgot to tell you, you're still doing it, sucker. Charlie unfortunately has to concede to the demands of the studio because there's no way he can compete with this guy. He decides to have a smoke break while they're at commercial and immediately falls asleep. We're either in the dream world now or the red light district. Freddy gives him crap for continuing to do the show despite being told not to, so I guess he's gotta die.
Light up your life!
He's still breathing, so I don't think he's dead. Quick, nurse, turn him into a marionette! I don't know much about how you treat a person who's been electrocuted, but I don't think you're supposed to hang them from tubing. Charlie's now in a deep coma, and the doctor delivers the good news that he might never recover. Wait, that's not good news. The real good news is Dr. Freddy is on the job, and there's nothing he can't fix.
Now you must turn your head and call!
I guess it is better to start at the bottom and work your way up. The doctor comes in with a bunch of medical students, I think, but why isn't Charlie's ass bleeding? He just had a razor-bladed glove shoved all up in there. Sometimes the wounds Freddy inflicts happen in the real world, and other times they don't. I guess it just depends whether or not it's convenient to the plot. Not only does Freddy murder people, but he also likes to rummage through their bags.
Take a deep breath and hold it.
Is Freddy secretly a proctologist? Because what is his fascination with this guy's ass? The hospital receives a new patient with major head trauma, and at least this one was because he wasn't wearing a helmet while riding his motorcycle, and not because he got smacked around by an old woman. One of the trainees tells the doc about this radical experiment he heard about, in which brain cells can be transferred from one patient to another, in order to, I guess, force regeneration. They also just so happen to have a patient who's in a coma and will likely never recover. Though I'm not sure you can just take brain cells from a coma patient without their approval, especially since it's likely going to kill them. The doctor tells her trainee that what he's suggesting is unethical and there's no way she'll allow it. So anyways, this guy sneaks into Charlie's room and begins sucking out his brain. He injects what looks to be iced tea into this kid's ear, and a short time later, Mark is back to his old self. Or is he? Because he's starting to have these strange sensations as if he can feel Charlie.
Where is he? I'd like to meet him.
He passed away.
You mean you killed him? This hospital is in for such a huge lawsuit. Charlie's girlfriend Britt seems to be taking his death pretty well though. Mark stops her, even calling her by name, almost like he knows her. But that can't be possible, these two have never even met before.
I thought you might need some help staying awake.
Wow, she really got over Charlie's death quick. Turns out Mark is also a breast man.
Ma.
Oh god, Mom? Well, this is awkward. Mark starts smoking, which is odd because he never has before, but where did he get the cigarettes? I guess this is the late 80s, doctors probably prescribed them. Mark has his mother pull into the news studio, which just happens to be on the way home. I guess he wants to make that dream of his a reality.
I'm your new host, George Nemchek, and what a wonderful new time we're going to have together.
Next!
How could you not hire this guy? He looks like a cross between Pee Wee Herman and Gallagher. Anyways, Mark walks up and he's a complete natural, almost as if he's hosted a talk show before. Obviously he gets the job because it says so in the script. For his first set of guests, he has the doctors on who saved his life, and I guess who technically ended Charlie's.
I am a trained
Oh,
surgeon.
you are a
who's not
fraud. You know nothing about medicine.
How and you're such an expert?
Alright, so maybe they don't exactly agree with this new experimental procedure. But hey, at least Mark's suffering from the same blackouts Charlie did. Wait, that's not good.
Hey, who are you?
Who are you?
This is supposed to be Charlie Nichols' dream.
I'm not Charlie Nichols, I'm Mark Lindstrom.
Look, even Freddy doesn't know what's going on. Mark snaps to and tells everyone all about the strange dream he just had. It looks like the trainee took brain cells from the part of the brain that controls dreams. So somehow this means Mark is now experiencing Charlie's dreams, which explains why Freddy was so confused.
What the hell?
They decide to hook Mark up with an IV and flush out his blood with new blood because I guess that'll cleanse his brain cells or something. Honestly, at this point, I think these people are just making shit up. Mark passes out from the little procedure, and of course, Freddy comes knocking.
Wannabes.
Ooh, don't mind if I do. Mark isn't nearly as grateful as I am, and decides to run away from Freddy. Unfortunately for Mark, he doesn't understand that there's no running from Freddy in the dream world. Freddy really needs to sharpen his gloves if he has that much trouble slicing through a plastic tube. Mark wakes up just in time before Freddy can do any real damage and somehow finds a flask full of Charles' brain cells. But I thought the trainee only took a single syringe of the cells, not an entire flask of them. Mark then lightly karate chops the trainee so he can get a little revenge. Obviously, he then injects the brain cells because he doesn't appreciate what they did to him and he wants someone else to suffer as well. Technically, Mark would have died without the procedure, but he's likely gonna die because of Freddy anyways, so it didn't really do much help now, did it? Dreams That Kill is a decent follow-up to Dream Come True, but there isn't too much of a connection between the two outside of the talk show. The talk show host from the first episode is killed off-screen and replaced with Charlie, and then Randy, who was the teen suffering from nightmares, is also killed off-screen, so we don't get to see that either, which is kind of lame. The only real reason to watch this is because of Freddy. It's not great Freddy stuff, but there is some fun with it. I like the scene where Charlie was literally being grilled and you had all the bizarre guests from his show, but outside of the Freddy stuff, it sort of drags. I'm just gonna say that there's no real point in trying to analyze an episode of Freddy's Nightmares. Even when the show originally aired, it was basically just slop they threw out there because they knew they could make money off the Elm Street name. The acting is bad in this show, the sets are cheap, but you can at least have a little fun with how dumb the whole thing is. It's funny to see how they would try and transition an R-rated film franchise into a PG show. Like they try to add some violence and sex, but they're so limited by what they can and can't do that it almost becomes pointless. I wouldn't really recommend this outside of people that are really big fans of the Elm Street series. For normies, I think they'll find this too boring, but for fans of Freddy, you might get a kick out of just how silly this whole thing is. But what do you think? Have you seen Dreams That Kill? Let me know down in the comments. Anyways, that's all for today. I hope you're having a great weekend and stay spooky!
Charlie's a talk show host with a hot topic.
Dreams That Kill on the next Springwood Confidential.
But he's got one tough critic.
Forget the dream show.
Why?
You'll scare everybody away, and I won't have anybody to play with.
Will Charlie's career be cut short?
Big mouth talk show hosts. Do they deserve to live?
Find out on Freddy's Nightmares.
Saturdays at midnight on El Paso's Fine 9.